Hello everyone and welcome to SK Shadow. Welcome back to another episode of our F1 22 My Team Career Mode, and this time we are at Hungary. As you saw on that screen there, it's been a little while since our last race, but we did get a podium. So we'll be trying to carry on the good form that we had in our last race. We'll have to see. You see, we did actually have a engine upgrade fail, so we're putting that on again, and that will come to us before Spa, and that is guaranteed. Which is good, because obviously you have that very, very long back straight where pretty much all the overtaking happens in Spa, so that is going to be helpful for us. We are putting on a chassis upgrade, which looks like that should also come for Spa as well. In terms of upgrades for this race, we have had a durability and a chassis come in, so that is going to help us a little bit, hopefully reduce any potential DNFs, because we do not want that. I mean, we've actually only had 2 DNFs, I think, haven't we? Or is it? No, only one. We've had 1 DNF, so not too bad on reliability side for us. We are still the best of the rest, but you can see Alfa Romeo have actually made some pretty big upgrades, and they are very much on our tail, so we'll have to see how they perform in this race. We've got Ferrari behind us with Leclerc, and he just, I don't know what he was thinking there. He was following us. We were on our out lap for our quali lap, and he just bins it into the sausage curb. Maybe he's got some underfloor damage, we'll have to see. But we begin our first lap in Hungary. Bottas sets a banker lap for us of a 1:16.8, so we will be looking to try and beat that as we go through this section of slow corners, which pretty much these set of corners are what makes or breaks your qualifying lap, because they are very, very important. The amount of speed you can carry through there is quite a bit more than you think, and if you don't carry that sort of speed, then your quali lap is going to be slow, as we've only set a 1:17.1. Our teammate's done a 1:16.9, so we are actually only about 2 tenths off of him, but we are going to have to improve. Didn't mention earlier, but this is a short qualifying, it's not a full qualifying, so what the time that we end up with at the end of this session is where we are going to start our race. We're about 2 tenths up already before we actually go into the section of corners here. To be honest, in our first run, I think I actually did them reasonably well, but we've got 5 minutes left, so we should be able to finish this run and just about get out in time for another one. But we go 2.5 tenths up, that puts us P8 for the time being, with a 1:16.8, just ahead of our teammate. But we did manage to get out for a final and third lap, but we're really not that far up, and we've already dropped down to P13. All the other guys managed to find quite a bit of time at the end of this session. Not really sure how, but yeah, we crossed the line, and that is us in P13 to start this race. Our teammate in P7, we're like 5 tenths off of him, so we'll just have to see if we can work our way through the pack in the race.
It's race day in Budapest as we get ready for another round of Formula 1 action. We don't expect too many retirements at this circuit. There are plenty of current and former drivers with flawless finish rates here, in particular Ralf Schumacher, who made it across the line in all 10 of his Hungarian Grand Prix starts. 14 corners then for our drivers to navigate at the 2.7-mile Hungaroring today. It's 6 lefts and 8 rights around a lap here, with average speeds in the region of 120 miles per hour.
So, into the race weekend here, as usual. Would you believe it? It's a medium to hard strategy. Pretty much almost every race is. You see, we actually start P9, so we're already in the points, so we don't even have to worry about that. I'm guessing a lot of people got grid penalties. You saw, well, I mean, you didn't see the grid order there, because I think I accidentally skipped it in recording, so that's why you weren't able to see it. But we get a purple parking, so that is going to help us on this race start. Let's see how many people we can get through, as it's lights out and away we go. Looks like everyone seems to get a relatively decent start, apart from ourselves. We've got the AlphaTauri ahead of us, the Alpine, the Ferrari. We've lost 3 positions in turn 1, but we see a gap and we go for it. We go down the inside there. We end up going through the middle of both the Ferrari and the McLaren of Lando Norris. So we actually managed to not lose any positions. We absolutely sent it on our first lap, because you know how it is in Hungary. It's very, very difficult to overtake, so we're going to have to pretty much do as many overtaking moves as we can in these first few laps, because after that it's going to be pretty stagnant in terms of racing, as we send it down the inside of the Haas there. So that is us up into, I'm not sure, is that P8 maybe? We'll have to see. Our teammate is battling the Alfa Romeo. As I said earlier, they are a lot quicker than they have been previously, but we send it down the inside of Valtteri Bottas there as he gets all out of shape fighting our teammate, and that is us up into P6. So, first lap, we have moved ourselves from P9 all the way into P6, which, to be honest, I'm not sure we're going to be able to progress much further because obviously other than our teammate, it's 2 Mercedes, a Red Bull and a Ferrari. And as we know, they are much, much faster than us, as Norris and Bottas are fighting behind us. That is going to give us a little bit of breathing room on lap 2. Obviously, DRS not enabled yet, so we're not able to close on our teammate, unfortunately. But to be honest, as we saw in qualifying, he is definitely a little bit quicker than us this race weekend. Hungary, contrary to pretty much the past 2 or 3 race weekends, is a track that I've never been particularly great at. So we'll have to see where we end up. But going into the first corner on lap 3, absolute madness there. You've got Max Verstappen, Vettel, Gasly, Ricciardo, all trying to get past each other here. As looks like the Alfa Romeo of Zhou Guanyu is currently side by side with Daniel Ricciardo, who is considerably further back than his teammate in P7. Unfortunately, in this game, it seems to be reflecting how it is in real life, as Fernando Alonso is even thinking he might try and get past the departing Australian in real life. And he's up into P18, so Ricciardo all the way down into P19 there. Not going to be particularly pleasing for the McLaren fans, but we've got Sebastian Vettel and Pierre Gasly side by side here. Max Verstappen lurking in the background. He's pretty out of position here. P16 on lap 4. I'm guessing he took some engine penalties. But as we've seen before, it is very, very difficult to get through the pack on this track. So he'll have to try and just send it down the inside of these guys when they're battling side by side. But Zhou Guanyu is going to make his life even more difficult because he is trying to go down the inside of Max Verstappen here. Is he going to be able to do it, as Gasly, by the looks of it, ends up really wide there? We'll see. On board with Vettel. Yeah, there we go. Gasly absolutely locks up, and that's going to be particularly pleasing for Vettel because he's no longer battling with him, because it is now Zhou Guanyu and Pierre Gasly battling each other here. It looks like Zhou manages to get through, so he's got past Max Verstappen and Pierre Gasly there, both either Red Bull or previous Red Bull drivers, as we almost have a massive moment there, a bit of oversteer. We managed to catch it, but Norris is going to be thinking this is his time to get past us. We take the inside line here, give him the huge squeeze, and we are through. We were very, very aggressive with that move there, but we had to be, because I feel like the McLarens are probably faster than us, so if he got past us, then we probably wouldn't have been catching up with him, and we run the risk that he ends up getting towards our teammate Button, who's currently P5. So in terms of the team, P5 and 6 at the moment, you really can't ask for much more. That is absolutely maximum points we could ask for. And with the Alpines pretty much being not really anywhere. I mean, you've got Ocon there in P12, Alonso in P18, as Carlos Sainz is trying to get past Bottas here. But yeah, our constructors' rivals at the moment, Alpine, we are currently on course to extend our gap in the lead there by a considerable margin. But Carlos Sainz still trying to get past Bottas, who has just not given up here in the sister Ferrari, pretty much. He's got the Ferrari power unit, and he's managed to keep the position there on lap 5. But lap 6, unsurprisingly, Carlos Sainz is going for it again, and I think this time he's probably going to get it. There we go. Carlos Sainz gets himself up into P8. Now jumping on board on lap 7 onto Max Verstappen. He's finally managed to get the pace to get past Zhou Guanyu. I'm not sure why it's taken him so long. He's definitely got the better engine. But we'll have to see. He's got the DRS here, but it just doesn't seem to be enough. The DRS is not... Oh, he didn't actually have DRS, did he? I'm not sure. I might be making things up there, but he does manage to get past him anyway, regardless of DRS usage. So he is past the other Alfa Romeo there. On to lap 9. We're back with ourselves, and we're just in the same situation, really. Like I said before, we get ourselves up into P6 in the first couple of laps, and yeah, that's pretty much it. We're nowhere near Button. We're losing about half a second a lap to him at the moment, and we're just about managing to hold off Norris, although Norris is going to, well, does have Sainz on his tail, so once Sainz gets past Norris, we might be in a little bit of a battle with the Ferrari, as we go very wide there. Not sure why that was. On to lap 16. We've jumped quite a bit, but still exactly the same situation. Sainz has managed to get past Norris as everyone else is diving into the pits. So we get past Hamilton, get past our teammate as well. And we are due to be coming into the pits at the end of this lap. I mean, you can see how much the gap was. I mean, Leclerc has come in, got on the hards, and he's still a second and a half ahead of us. So, yeah, you can see just how much quicker the Ferraris are there. But we are in on lap 18. We get a 2.4 second stop. Not too bad. We are still ahead of Carlos Sainz, but only just. But we come out of the pits here in P6 still. So, like I say, nothing's really changed. But we have lost a chunk of time to our teammate Button. He's now 5 seconds ahead. We've got a bit of breathing room to Norris and the Alfa Romeo behind him, who is quite far behind actually. He was quite close to the McLaren, but he's not anymore. Not sure what happened there. But the next few laps are going to be fighting Carlos Sainz, I think. So on to the end of lap 18 here, you can see he is very, very close to us. He's going to have the DRS, and to be honest, we don't even really bother trying to fight it, because it's inevitable that he's going to get past us. As a yellow flag is flown right as Carlos Sainz get past us. So we wouldn't have even been able to try and retake that position, because the yellow flag was there for someone with a lot of smoke coming out of the back of their car, and it is our teammate. Jenson Button is out of the race. How many DNFs is that for him now? Like, is that what, like 3 or 4? I'm not sure, but he's definitely had a bad string of luck in terms of engine DNFs compared to ourselves. Like, obviously, I am putting durability upgrades on, but we've only had 1, and he's had quite a few there, and he was on for a good result, P5, but that's it now. He is out of the race, so that puts us into P6 again, because obviously we got overtaken by Sainz, but our teammate ahead of us out of the race, so we are back into P6. On to lap 31 here, same situation, and Esteban Ocon is out of the session. And the safety car, we have a safety car. Now this could be interesting. So we're on board. This is a replay of Mick Schumacher. Ocon's engine blows up and Mick just steers into him and loses his front wing. What is going on there? So Esteban Ocon has had his engine blown up, and Mick's like, you know what, I'm just going to drive into him. And he's got no wing. He's driving very slowly. And that is Mick out of the race as well. I mean, why has he done that? Has he been told to do that on purpose? Is this some strange conspiracy theory that we're going to have? Who knows? But all we do know is that has brought out a safety car. But on lap 33, so are we actually going to have a racing lap? We're going to have one final racing lap. We're so far away from Sainz and Perez. I'm not actually sure if we're going to catch up to the pack before the safety car comes in. So on lap 33, we're still 4 seconds, well, 3 seconds here, behind Sainz, and the safety car is coming in. So it hasn't really helped us. I mean, it has helped us in the sense that Norris is now 7.5 seconds behind us for some reason. I'm not sure why he's ended up that far back. But yeah, starting lap 34, we get 2 laps of actual racing. Obviously, we're not even going to have DRS because that's not activated until, I think, a couple of laps after the safety car. But it doesn't matter anyway because we're nowhere near Sainz. Lap 35, down on 4 seconds. We're actually coming up to some back markers somehow, but we're not going to be getting past them before we round the final corner here. As there we go, we crossed the line, P6.
It's a performance to be proud of from our Hungarian Grand Prix winners today. So, Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we could talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit, familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari, do it again.
So, there we have it. That was the Hungarian Grand Prix. We bring home 8 points for ourselves, which is, like I say, as much as we could ask for, really. We were never going to be ahead of the other guys in the much faster cars ahead of us. Unfortunately, our teammate with his DNF means he didn't bring home any points for us. But, like I said, the Alpines, Ocon DNF'd with his engine failure, and Fernando Alonso just started P20, so he wasn't able to get himself into the points, so that does help us. Because you see, drivers-wise, 88 points. We're well clear of Bottas and Norris now. And then constructors-wise, like I say, we have gained points. We are now 133 to Alpine's 102. So we haven't got a huge amount of races left. So I think we should be on for being able to come home with P4 in the constructors, which will give us a good chunk of constructors' money. And hopefully we can bring ourselves closer towards maybe winning races in Season 2. We'll have to see. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that fantastic stuff, and hit the bell notification icon so that you don't miss our next race in Spa.